One, two, three. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy midday. Are you guys on your break right now? Come on into the room. Come on into the room. This is Marsha Guerriere, the founder of Women on the Rise, and I am here this afternoon, this midday, talking to you, hump day midday, talking to you about time management. And we are so fortunate to have a special guest with us today. Terryl Ebony will be talking to us about time management. Come on in the room, guys. Come on in the room. I see Terryl is here. Let's see. We're going to be talking to her today, guys, about time management. Are you using your time effectively? How to achieve more in less time, right? We know that time management is a huge source of what it is we need in our life. A sense of accomplishment. If you are not having proper time management and taking control of your life, then where are you leading? The goals that you're setting for yourselves, they're going to be doomed to fail, right? And I see we have Miss Terryl Ebony on the line. Good
I
afternoon,
am great. I am
Terryl.
great.
How are
How are
you?
you? Thank you for having me today.
All right. Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. My screen is all lopsided, right? Hold on one second. Hold on a second. Is that better?
Yeah,
I'm
I
straight.
think
Can
we
you
have
hear me
lift
all?
off. I think we have lift off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lift off. Let me share this out to the world. We are broadcasting from our Woman on the Rise page. Greetings, author Latanya Boy. Latanya, how are you? Thank you for joining us today. Doretta, thank you for coming in. Carrie Ann, I appreciate you guys for coming into the room today and talking to us about time management. How are we gonna go into 2018? How are we going to build out the first quarter in order to have our year mid-year review look successful, be successful? What are we going to do to achieve more time in our lives to accomplish the goals that we are setting out? Hold on, doing well. I know that's right. It's all here. We all good. Smile, smile. So, Miss Terrell, tell me how you doing. How happy New Year, first of all, to the people out there. Let's just wish everyone a happy New Year. This is our first live broadcast, and I'm using this new awesome Facebook Live where you could invite a friend to have a conversation with you, and we get to bring our viewers, our listeners, our community some phenomenal information and content right here together on
I
Facebook.
am
So how are
doing
you, Miss
well.
Terrell?
Happy New Year to everyone in the We Are Women on the Rise group and everybody who's going to be joining us. Hey, Miss Latanya, how are you? Happy New Year, lovely. I know she told me to smile. I was sitting, I was like, She's like, you better put a smile on your face, girl. I smile all the time. I feel like my cheekbones are just like connected right. It is crazy, but I know that 2018 is going to be a phenomenal year for myself. I know it's going to be phenomenal for you and for everybody else as long as we use our time effectively and that we continue to produce the results that we say that we want. So I'm really excited about 2018.
Yes, I think that last year, towards the end of the year, everyone really got a push, and there is a sense of
Yes.
urgency for women in general. You know, all the movements, the things that are happening in our society right now. It's really pushing and propelling women to want to do better and want to do more. And understand that through collaboration with each
Yes.
other, through support of one another, that's how we
Absolutely.
get. And it's a great time for us to put work in together and help each other rise, right? Share your nuggets of time management. Yum yum. Today, thank you, author Latanya. So, Terrell, let's go right into our conversation and tell me
Well,
why
I
time
think it has
management is
a
so
lot to
important.
do with just remaining focused. And a lot of people tend to lose focus, real quick. I'm not quite sure why, but tend to lose focus real quick. The slightest little thing, they go on social media, they see one post, and all of a sudden their mind goes left. They forget why they were on social media. You went on for one specific thing and you end up doing 5, 10 different things. So I think it has a lot to do with knowing the goal, knowing what your goals are, knowing what it is that you want to produce in that specific time frame, and staying very, very focused and intentional about what it is that you want to accomplish. And without time management, you won't be able to do that because your time goes. I tell people we have 1,440 minutes in every day. And it might sound like a lot because it's in the thousands, 1,000 minutes, but before you blink, the day is gone. It's like the day is gone, it's shot, and you're like, wait a minute, where did the time go? I just woke up, I just had breakfast. But before you blink, 5 hours have already been passed, and then you have to kind of go back and say, well, what did I do in that time? And once you start to really keep track of your time, you'll start to see those loopholes. You'll start to see those places of inefficiencies where you were like, okay, I could have eased up off of that. I could have, spent a little less time on the phone. I could have spent a little less time on social media. I could have spent a little less time on the TV, and I could have focused a little bit more, or should I say a lot more, on my goals, on the things that I say that I want to achieve.
Right. You're so right. Focus is understand, and you touched on a little bit about what that actually means. And it's kind of like when you're focused,
Yes.
you get clarity, right? When you know what it is, when you kind of narrow down your thought into what it is you're looking for, that focus helps you produce, like you're the producer, the outcomes that you want from your goals, right? So to that, what are some of the specific things that you would recommend to people that they could do to get focus, get clarity, and to set them in the right direction to even starting the new year with proper goals? Because it's also about proper goal setting. People sometimes lose focus on what the right goal should be. They place value on things that are unachievable. It sounds good, but it's unachievable. But if they focus clearly, tell us what your thoughts on getting the right
So one of the
perspective
things that
and
I
clarity.
usually tell my clients, and we go through, is the process of, just kind of building out what all your goals are, what all your goals, like what are some of the things what are the big grandioso things that you want to accomplish in life? And then breaking those goals down into smaller goals and into smaller goals and into smaller goals. So that this way you will say, well, okay, if the grandioso thing that you want to accomplish is, let's say creating a youth center, what are the smaller things that you need to do in order to make that youth center happen? So what are some of the things that we can do in 2018, this first year, because you're now starting out, so you can't just go from, oh, I want to, have a youth center, to saying, okay, by the end of 2018, I'm going to have that youth center. A lot of times that is very unrealistic. I mean, unless you come into a large sum of money and just have a great team. But for most people, it isn't, and you have to start at ground zero. So a more realistic thing for you to say is, you know what? in 2018, I at least want to start the organization. I want to have my, my LLC. I want to be able to get my EIN, my bank account, my board of directors. I want to be able to, do certain, have certain threshold things. Make sure I have my mission, vision, those things that create a solid foundation for the business first. Let's start there in 2018, and then we can kind of progress up. And when you have your mission for the entire year, that's your goal for the year, then you even break that down into further, you break that into smaller further pieces and say, well, okay, what can you do of all of those things that you named? What can you do in the first quarter? Then what can we do in the second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? So then you give yourself benchmarks, you give yourself milestones, and then you can actually celebrate and see the progress or where you need to actually level up in certain areas of your life. I also tell people that it's very important that you don't only focus on business, that you focus on your life, because if your life ain't right, your business not going to be right. If your business ain't right, it's going to affect your life. So make sure that when you are focusing on your goals and you're doing that goal setting, make it realistic so that you have balance, and you are the life balance queen. So I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you have, I want in 2018, I want to be healthier. I want to, be able to lose maybe a couple of pounds, or I just want to start eating healthier. I want to start exercising a little bit more. I want to start saving some. I want to do XYZ I want to do certain things in my marriage. I want to at least take one vacation, because I haven't taken a vacation. Things that you want to be able to do, and then we can start working realistically on how you can achieve those goals.
Absolutely. I am all about life balance. When I work with my clients, they come to me because they're kind of looking for the business coach, and we start in that aspect. But then I sit down and I say, and I go like this: tell me about. I want to know about your life, and I get into it with them about that personal life, which leads me into what I wanted to talk to you next about, is in that personal development, that personal aspect about free time. How to manage free time into your life, into and understanding what free time means. Free time doesn't mean you're not physically or actively doing anything that produces results that you think are tangible. Free time meaning that personal time with your family. How are you connecting with your family? How are you connecting with the different people in your life through relationships, your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your boys, your girls, your children? It's important that in time management, when you're factoring your time. So a lot of times when I do develop roadmaps with my clients, I sit them down. We're looking at the big picture for business, their year, and we start breaking it down. And I personally have everyone make sure they fill things into 3 sectors: your family,
yes,
your business, and your personal. Because people tend to think it's just, okay, family and business, but when you're not thinking about yourself, and you think that you belong in that family bucket, and that's not true. You are your own entity, right? You need that roadmap, LaTanya. Stay tuned. I'm currently working on my 2018 roadmap kit for you guys. I'll share that in another broadcast. But it's important that you take that time out for yourself. Tell us, what are some of the things you teach and you talk to your clients about in terms of that time management in personal free time? How do you look at free time? Do you look at it as a curse word? Because some people, free time, I'm not free. And I'm not talking about free time for watching TV and just doing things that don't, add value to your life. Because finding life balance is all about knowing your values. Goal setting, for me, what I teach is that goal setting first and foremost. Once you get clarity and understanding the values that you place in your life, your goals will just soar. You will soar. So tell me, what is your take on all right, now swing the hair. You know it, Latonya. You know I can swing it in a couple of paces. Usually I have a little couple tracks to get a good full swing, but that's okay.
Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny.
Am I fixing
So
it?
it is I tell everybody I love to plan everything, and for everyone it's going to be different. So I put everything in my calendar. For those of you who haven't picked up Marsha's planner, I suggest that you do. Plan, Pray, Prosper. Where is it, Marsha? Where is it? Hold it up, hold it up. I have mine right here. Wait a minute. I have mine right here. Plan, Pray, Prosper. This is a great way for you to begin putting everything down on paper. So this way you'll be able to know each segment of your life like you spoke about, right? So for me time, the first thing everybody should know is that you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour, and you're not supposed to pour from a full cup. You're supposed to pour from the overflow, right? So in order for you to do that, you have to have free time. You have to have time where you can mentally, physically, emotionally replenish yourself from the things that you give so freely and so selflessly to everybody else. So when you're giving to your business, when you're giving to your clients, when you're giving to your family, when you're giving to everyone else and your friends and all of that good stuff, guess what? Who's replenishing and who's putting back into you? So free time and me time is it's something that I look at again differently for everyone, because some of your free time is that could be that time, or that personal time, that time that you spend just thanking God in the morning, that spiritual time that you take, and you need that just to kind of have him replenish and feed into you whatever you need to get you through the day. That can be part of it. Part of your me time, it could be, what I enjoy is just watching TV. I might just enjoy flipping it. I just might need that just for me and me alone. I don't want no husband in the room with me. I don't want no kids in the room with me. I just want to flip the remote by myself and enjoy my time alone without anybody talking to me and asking me, so what happened? Or what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? You need that time for yourself. That time might be doing your hair. It might be doing your nails. It might be going shopping. Everybody has that one thing, or those two things that they do that make them feel good about who they are. It might be going shopping. It might be writing. It might be journaling. What's going to relax you? For me, I tell people when I feel like I need some me time, I put on some gospel music or inspirational music, and I sing, and I just let that music, and I just let the words kind of like meditate in my spirit. And that does it for me, but everybody is different. So I tell people, find that sweet spot, not the spot that makes you just say, well, like you said, I have some free time, so I'm gonna just do something. But find that sweet spot that relaxes you, that enables you to replenish, that enables you to give you that time to think and meditate on just you and the things that you want to do for you. You're not thinking about what's going on with hubby. You're not thinking about what's going on with the bake sale. You're not thinking about what's going on with the business. You're not thinking about, what you're going to cook for dinner. None of that. You're just thinking about you. And it's okay to have that selfish moment. It's not even okay. It's a necessity. It's a necessity.
I don't call it selfish.
It doesn't say it's a necessity.
I call it necessary. When you, right? Hey, Sharon. Sharon just joined us. Sharon definitely. Thank you so much. We are talking about life balance and actual time management, and how you can produce more time in your life just by effectively managing your time properly, knowing your values, getting focused, getting clarity, and putting yourself in that time management, adding yourself to your schedule, you in your schedule, right? And I think the end result sometimes is the fact that when you are clear and when you practice time management, you will be able to make better decisions. You're gonna easily, when you align yourself with your values, properly allocate your time to specific tasks and goals, you will find that it's easier to say no because you're clearer, you're focused on what it is you want to achieve, right? And I find it to be, like you said, very settling and very relaxing in getting things accomplished. And author Latanya says, need to clear the clutter, change the stinking
Absolutely.
thinking, relax, relate, release. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I always know when I am not obedient to my personal time management outlook. When I start letting things kind of get all of my body, my senses, I feel it automatically. And it's usually my house is probably not organized the way I personally like it. Somebody will walk in and be like, oh, what do you mean? This is nice. I'm like, no, I'm confused. So I got to clean up, declutter your space. Having a cluttered space is one absolute way where you continuously stay unfocused. Clutter makes you unfocused, and people don't really realize the correlation to having clutter. So Terrell, tell us what you're working on right now. What's on the horizon for
What's
you
on
and
the
find your purpose?
horizon? Oh my goodness, everything. Because girl, sky's the limit. 2018, like Latoya said, we soaring, girl. So everything is on the horizon. So right at this moment, in the first quarter, God was talking to me and he had me revamping and putting together what I call the producer plan for a lot of people, and where we talk about, not just time management, but overall productivity. And I think that, when people hear the word productivity, they automatically think time management, but there is so much more involved in productivity. So you do have time management, you do have organization, and you do have systems, the way we think, like Latoya said, the way we plan, and the way we take action. Because we could have all the time management in the world, but if we are not using that time effectively, so you can find pockets of time, but if you don't have a plan and execute that plan to achieve a certain goal, then what's the purpose of having the time? What is the purpose of having the time? So I know that let's say I remember having a client and they said, well, I'm home all day. I said, well, if you home all day, then you have a lot of time on your hands. How come you aren't further along than you are? And it was because they had the time, but they didn't have the plan and they didn't know how to execute the plan. So you have to have them all together. You know what I mean? So my goal in 2018 is to
Yeah.
really help people not only see it, but to actually achieve it. Because a lot of people, they hear us on these lives and we say a lot of different things, but they still get stuck because they don't know how to get there. So they know they need to get there, but they don't know how to get there. So my goal, my objective is to give them that how to get them there, hold them accountable, and support them through the process. So that is me for 2018, especially in this first quarter. My website is up. We've done some revamping for the new year. So I'm excited about that. www.terrylebony.com. So you can see a lot of the different products and services that I have. I'm doing a lot more speaking engagements this year. And I have some books on the horizon for 2018. So as they come forward, I will definitely keep you guys posted.
All right. So we'll always be checking
Absolutely.
in on you. Also, says, yes, you need that roadmap of a plan of action. Bam. Hashtag bam. We do need that roadmap. Creating a roadmap for yourself. People don't. Oh gosh, I get so. People just don't get it. You want to be in business or you want to elevate your career, but you don't change your stinking thinking, like author Latanya says. You have to get your mindset right. It's about, so your client that's sitting home and say, well, I'm home all day,
Exactly.
their mindset weren't ready. They didn't do the work on the personal level. They didn't do the work that they needed through personal development to get their mindsets focused and ready on taking on the steps and the tasks within that action plan. So it's really about mindset. And in my roadmap kit that's coming out soon, ladies, um, it'll be out soon. In that kit, the first few steps is reflection and revelations to have you kind of reflect and open up to see what it is that you have, where you've been. You know me, I'm all about the SWOT analysis, Terrell. So I got SWOTs all over the place. It's in the Plan, Pray, Prosper, and I got it in the roadmap kit
Yes.
for people to kind of assess what their strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats are, right? It's so important. People think it's just for the big corporations that do it, the big executives that sit around and kind of like, analyze and get into their own war room to figure stuff out. And it's so major important that
Absolutely.
you know that about yourself, about your business, to help you take things to the next level. So, Tara, I thank you today for joining me. You are my first guest
Hey,
on
hey,
my show. Am I
hey,
Oprah?
hey.
Give
That's
me those
right.
thumbs up and those hearts. Thank you so much. Share this out. If you guys found value in just listening to our conversation, sometimes you're not going to get new stuff, but you're going to get a
Reinforcement.
spark. You're going to get something that's going to reinforce what you already know and propel you, move you to action, to change, to improve your situations, right? And so that's what we plan on bringing to you live through Facebook Live interviews, through the Women on the Rise page. We're going to share this in the We Are Women on the Rise. We are in the We Are Women on the Rise page, and we're going to start sharing this throughout all of our different platforms. If you have a group and you would like to interview Terrell or myself on a Facebook Live, just, what do they call it? DM us.
Yes, DM,
What do they call it
message,
here? Message
everything.
us, DM us, every platform.
Holla at the girl.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.